This is a shout out to all my internet YouTube friends. I want to wish you all the best. And I wish you all the best, not just on this day, December 25. It's like a weird feeling I have about this. Well, I'm not sure how weird it is, but I'm a lapsed Catholic, a lapsed Roman Catholic. It was a huge event. This was the day of the year. Well, when I was young, it was fabulous because I got stuff. I like, kids, I don't know to what age, it's like to 12, 13, 14. Yeah, it was great. This is a great day for the kids. But for my internet friends and the adults, my commentary generally is not for kids. Although kids can probably enjoy some of it. I'm not sure how young they'd have to be. Probably not. Anyway, there's a shout out. And I'd like to just, on reflection today, I feel like I've said everything I wanted to say. And it's a matter of doing. Now it's a matter of doing. This is how I see myself. And I've enjoyed this this experience, this YouTube experience. I've actually, it's had its ups and downs, but on the whole, I've really gained a lot from the comments and the affection I feel for people that are vibrating on the same wavelength, that wavelength. Love that song, Van the Man. Anyway, I kind of feel like I've said what I wanted to say. And the people that, generally speaking, I listen to that are of interest to me are bringing something to the table for me to chew on, something that I haven't thought about. But for the most part, this YouTube experience, this is how it feels to me, has done everything it can do. And I think it shows people are being removed from this platform for whatever reason. It makes no sense. People who are expressing something, the copyright issues, all those kind of things. I think it's all phony baloney kind of stuff. YouTube is basically trying to herd us into a certain direction. This is very obvious to me. And those people that have something to offer, that have something to give us to chew on, other than just decorations and entertainment. This is something that I do as a painter. I feel that I'm not a decorator. I'm not an entertainer from that pure entertainment point of view. Of course, there is a kind of seductive thing, and anything that attracts people to, as a painter I'm speaking now, to the work, there's a seductive quality in the work that might be construed as entertainment, but I'm not an entertainer or a decorator. So the same thing on YouTube. I'm not really that appreciative of just pure entertainment or decorations. It's I guess you can pass your time in many different ways, but what I'm saying, okay, what I'm trying to say, in a certain way, I'm withdrawing. I'm withdrawing from this platform because I've said what I wanted to say. Being someone most keenly aware of the phenomenal destruction by the nuclear criminal bunch, these plants that are blowing up, that are releasing things, that toxic elements that we just have no way of mitigating. This is something I've expressed, something that I've been advocating, something that I'm keenly aware of, which is going on, especially Fukushima. And I admire and respect all the people that are creating content with this in mind. This is extremely important. The other track that I've taken, aside from this awareness, how important this is to communicate this, just as an awareness within me, I needed to communicate this because I have this awareness within me that this is big, this is an important issue. The other side, what has developed and evolved, what I've understood about myself, is that there's a part of me that is almost, that rejects anything that doesn't contribute to what I like to call, I might be able to explain this a bit better, but my higher self. And my higher self is something that is attached to fundamentally things that work both emotionally, spiritually, physically. Those are things that really motivate me, and my ears perk up when I find something that is coming towards me that attracts this part in me that I like to call my higher self. And my higher self, like I've said before, I have a romance with eternity, and eternity being that part of us which may not feel as substantive as the meat and potatoes, the stuff that actually makes us feel like we're part of a reality. I'm interested quite as, maybe even a bit more to some extent, in that part which is not as substantive feeling as what we understand as reality. And this is a side of me that has developed over the last 2-3 years especially. And it incorporates the understanding I have of the epic threats that we are under now from many, I believe, from many different places. And the worst, of course, is the nuclear destruction that we're going to face over the next 30, 40, 50, many years to come. And how to mitigate this, obviously, is of concern. And the idea that you just pound away at this thing is, in my mind, is counterproductive after a certain point. Like I said, there are so many things that I will absorb if they contribute to that which I feel is my higher self. And just awareness and information does not necessarily contribute to my higher self once I know it. So what do I do with it, right? It's like the idea of doing something with that which we have acquired. What do you do with it? How do you translate this into some sort of context with this higher self, or the eternal part of us? The thing that I feel is maybe not substantive in terms of my interest, but is just as important. And many people talk about this, especially the Swamis. The Swamis love to give all the lowdown on this and on this part of our existence. But I find that to be quite tedious as well, because they never do what they say. So it's a good. I like that axiom. The do as I say, not as I do. The irony in that, obviously, people can catch that. But this is the Swami side of things that really doesn't work for me. So what I'm trying to communicate, other than wishing people the best, especially those people that vibrate with me on the level. When I speak, you understand in some way or other, and you comment on this aspect of my presentations. The content I create is very much related to this part of us, that thing that animates. It's like the cells in our body. These molecules that come together and form a functioning organism are such an enormous, incredible mystery. This is kind of like reality expressing the mystery. We don't really know how all of this stuff works. When you think about the fact that if you line up all the DNA within our body in a straight line, we would go billions, maybe. I think it's past Pluto. You go further than the distance of Pluto if you line in a single human being all the DNA, which is what they're saying. They're going to unravel the mystery of the genome. This stuff, if you line it up in a straight line, would go past Pluto. The distance. This is how long this is. Good luck, because the combinations that are formed within these intricate beings that we are can never be reduced to a kind of the physical reality is an expression of eternity for me anyway, because it's a mystery. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so my function within this mystery, what I'm understanding, and the destruction side of things, the way the physical world is being attacked, is actually a very small part. It's an important thing, but it's a small part, because what I consider to be the eternal side of things is huge. And this is where we can make, this is where we will begin to change, and then there will be a ripple effect into what we understand to be the physical existence. Maybe not even so rippling, maybe it'll be quite enormous. And I've always said, and I think it's appropriate for people who see this particular time, December, which used to be called, in the Roman times, it was called Saturnalia. It was a free-for-all. The degenerates in Rome embraced this period of time and kind of went on a rampage. Check out Saturnalia. And the Christian bunch have just sort of taken it over, and the dysfunction is incredible. I find the number of people who are totally dysfunctional at this time is outweighs what feels to be the positive side of things. But hey, if you find this period of time to be contributing to your well-being, fabulous. It's terrific. But it's a dysfunctional ritual, this Christmas thing, and all the Bible thumping types that come out, and it's all about Jesus and all that. Well, good. I mean, go forth and be kind and do good things. And you don't have to do it just on one day. You can do it over the entire span of the year, the other 364 days. So this is kind of like a thing I have about this that bothers me a lot. Why do we focus on this in terms of any specific day? And what I feel that I'm focused on, what I feel for myself to be really important in my life, is to have this fundamental notion about myself as being part of something larger, being part of a mystery, I express this mystery, just like I said, the physical side of us is an expression of that mystery, because the white coats haven't figured anything out. They can intervene and they can treat symptoms up to a point, but they always knock over just as much as they build, right? It's like they go in and intervene, and then other things are the byproducts of that intervention, and it's worse sometimes even than what the cure was, or not the cure, actually. They never cure anything. But that's what I'm saying. It's a mystery, and I'm part of it. Everyone is part of it, whether they want to or not. How they abuse it or use it or take advantage of it or appreciate it is obviously an individual choice. And I'm saying at this time, what I want to reiterate, what I have learned for me in this YouTube experience, number one, is coming across some really extraordinary people who understand this very thing about being that what they say they are, number one. And it's all about speech. On YouTube, it's all about, it's talk, but that communication that shows me that they are what they say. They just don't say it and then go. It's sort of like the people that go to church on a Sunday. They do their confessions and they do their nice things, and then they go and they live their lives like degenerates, depraved degenerates, a Saturnalia the rest of the year. So this is something that has really impacted on me when I see this in others on YouTube, and especially when I connect with them through a comment or through an exchange. This is something that is very important. I find very important to me. No, it is important to me. And the comments I get on my videos are very, let me say that, inspiring to the extent that it connects me with that feeling that I'm not by myself, that I'm not on my own. That even one comment that confirms, or even on a critical point of view, is critical but confirms the way I feel, is just extraordinary. It's just fabulous. And we take stuff like that for granted, especially when we're relating to people on a day-to-day level. We tend to take it for granted and not understand how precious that is, to be in communion with this spirit of connectedness from a cellular, like I say, realizing that we're a mystery, like the very makeup of us is a mystery. And then this is extended into interactions with people, and all the combinations of things that happen as soon as you speak or you emote something for or with someone. It develops into I don't know, what is that? It's like different combinations of things. The same word can have many different meanings in context with people. Yeah, okay, this is getting too long. What I want to say is, I think I've said everything I wanted to say in this YouTube thing. Not in my paintings, but this is what I do. This is what I want to do. This is what I feel good about in terms of my day-to-day activity and interacting with people in my day-to-day life, where I basically walk away with a good feeling if I've made somebody's life in some form or other a little bit more, that they feel better about themselves. Yeah, that sort of makes a lot of sense to me. And hammering the bastards isn't really going to do it for me. I did that for a while, like and the critical side, and I'm actually much more interested in being critical of people that are humble, and the sort of not smaller channels, like people that have 200,000-300,000 subscribers. It goes to their heads. They become addicted to this platform. I've not had that. I've not had that affliction because I'm not on that level. But I like commenting on people that have achieved, like Molyneux, for example, or even the Corbett Report, or the Quantum of Conscience, or even this Owen Benjamin guy who was eliminated from YouTube. I think that's a travesty. I had a lot of issues with this guy, but I still think that he should still be on YouTube. I mean, this people disappearing from YouTube is wrong. It's like, this is not what this was, as far as I understood, was meant to be. So I don't know what else I can say. Um, we need to evolve into that special part in us that is the caring part of us. I've always said this. Conscience is the delivery system of our caring. I think there is a reciprocal kind of situation there between conscience and caring. I think they go together. I talk about this a lot. I've said everything I could say about this. I believe in a verbal way anyway. Not necessarily. I may post some more, but I just wanted to pass this on as a message to people that have followed me, and I appreciate your comments always. And even if you don't say anything, that I know that you've come by and looked at my video, and I think this is something that I felt I wanted to say. And it's getting dark. The sun is going down quickly. You can see the light when I started is a lot less. So again, all my best to you, my YouTube internet friends, and I'll do some more in the future, but not as much as I used to comment on stuff.